Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com. Racing isn't easy.
Live alive. Welcome, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. My name is Nick Stockner. Welcome back to Season 2 of the esteemed panel. I am your host, Nick Stockner. Welcome back here with my fellow co-host, Cade Al Corbin. How you doing this evening, Cade?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here in the Steam panel for the first time officially. Tonight's race is going to be absolutely fantastic. Nick, can you believe it? We have 3 classes of cars on track on the same time, and this time it's different than just R. Muhammad Ali, Cale Davidson, and the rest of the field. It's 3 real classes.
Of course. I'm so excited for this. We've been working really hard this past winter on making sure that everything went smoothly for this 3-class transition here. For the first time this evening, we have a sponsored CSC race. Tonight's race is called the Dewalkens Glen 1 Hour, presented by Sons of Kent Brewery. Sons of Kent, a brewery in Chatham, Kent, Ontario, known for plenty of fine, pristine beverages. We here at the CIL, though, do condone that to only partake in Sons of Kent beverages if you are in the United States over the age of 21, or in Canada over the age of 19. Please drink responsibly and never drink and drive. Here we are this evening. We're going to do a couple more of those ad reads as we go throughout. But, Cade, welcome to the panel. As you know, you drove in this series last year when it was just GT3s. But as a person who is willing to tell you how this goes here on the panel, it's very simple. We're going to be having a lot of people in here tonight. We're going to be having a lot of conversations as well as talking about the racing. We're going to be having some fun with them. We got some game shows planned for you all this evening, especially called, the game show tonight is called God Bless Canada and Zach the Whale, because he's the one who provides the sponsor this evening. We love you, Zach, even though your power is currently turned off and you can't actually race tonight. It is kind of sad. But here we are, like you said, Cade, 3 car classes this evening. That's right, we are LARPing IMSA, everybody. That's right, we got GTPs, LMP2s, and GT3s. And if you ask me, Cade, I think that is just absolutely spectacular.
I think it's fantastic. Well, it's going to give us 3 times the amount of battles. It's going to give us 3 times, maybe more, the amount of chaos. And as we all know, the more chaos there is, the better the race is. Qualifying is underway right now, and we are set to go green here in just 9 minutes. I'm excited for the drop of the green. I think we got a rolling start here, and if anybody knows anything about turn 1 at Dewalkens Glen, it's chaos when there's only 1 car, 1 class in the field, and again, we got 3 tonight. So turn 1, that sharp right-hander, I think it's going to be a car eater.
Of course it is. I'm excited for turn 1. I tell you why. I'm excited for turn 1. Because every class, in my opinion, as I look through this field, as I did my research for today, you've got some wrecking balls in there, and then you've got some people who know what they're doing. And when you get these people close together at a track like Dewalkens Glen, where the time differential's not a lot, these guys are going to be able to keep themselves really close together. We're going to be looking at some calamity. I'm also really intrigued with how traffic happens. Now, you and I both know in our single-class series, such as the Cup Series and FC, multi-class still exists because we have very varying talent levels, but now it's actually intentional. And this could just get pretty intense here. Very narrow track Dewalkens Glen is. And if we could go down live to the track and see any cars driving around, we'd love that.
So this is a look at a backstretch. Now this is a little bit after that, but I want to go back to that backstretch if we can, Nick. You know what lies at the end of that backstretch. It's the bus stop. Definitely not a passing zone. Definitely not a place that you want to go double wide through. This shot here coming up the S is another spot where you have got to get single file. And if you're forced to be behind one of these slower GT3 or LMP2 cars, that could absolutely kill your momentum if you're battling with somebody else who's in your own class. Passing zone's very limited. Again, the track very narrow. There's some wide runoff areas, but there's also some very dangerous spots that will reach out and will grab you. The bus stop, the carousel, the boot, all of it is very technical and very tricky. Qualifying wrapping up right now, and then we will be able to see some cars on track. Only one lap for qualifying tonight due to a little bit of an issue behind the scenes, but we will get rolling here momentarily. No warm-up session for tonight, so we're going to hop right into the race itself as soon as qualifying wraps up in just about 60 seconds.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. It seems like some of our admins this evening were just a little bit too perplexed here on exactly what to do, and they left us with only one lap of quali, so we didn't even get to see it, but that's okay. That's what classes are for, and that is what us here at the esteemed panel are for, is to give y'all some, just a little bit of, pizzazz with everything else that is occurring. We have a car on track. That's a car on track.
It's a car. Oh, and it was blue. It might be UAH. That's not good.
Oh boy, we got a couple cars on track here. That's what it looks like, but only time will tell. But we're doing this live. We're doing it loud and proud. Go tell your friends. We accidentally turned on the wrong YouTube stream. We're on a Cup Series stream right now, apparently. We turned on the wrong one. Sorry, Mom. I know you wanted to watch. Yeah, we could blame Christian. I certainly blame Christian. I don't know about you, but that's who I'm blaming. But yes, this is Edward Sanchez, actually. Edward Sanchez, my bad. He's driving a Mercedes. That's a poor car choice, in my opinion, but, that's too much for my liking. Driving the 31 car, here he goes down through the gears into what we call the toe of the boot. You see, here at Dewalkens Glen, they cater to two different kinds of people. They cater to the NASCAR enthusiasts who don't use the boot because, they're uncivilized. And then it caters to the sports car folk of the world who use the boot because they actually care about good racing. So here we see Edward Sanchez and his Mercedes-Benz GT3. Touched a little bit too much grass for my liking there. That's probably a 1X. As it gets through the corner here, hold your throttle steady there, Edward. That's a corner that can get you really tricky. I'd love to see a car instead of some trees. But here we go. We're going through this corner here, and he disappeared.
That sort of thing happens at one.
Yeah, that is typical panel behavior, baby. That is what you see on any given Sunday here at the panel, and that's exactly what I wanted to see personally as we get ready to race. I think yes, we are. We're lining them up here now. The GTP's in front. Cade, I'm gonna give my picks first. Because senior figures first, please. My picks this evening are GTP. I am picking Sean Campbell. LMP2, I am picking... I'm going to go with Keegan Kallick. And then for GT3, I am picking Clint Halterman.
Well, you stole all of my picks, and I hate you now. I will say there are plenty of other good options out there, also plenty of opportunity for chaos. I'm going to be a little bit biased. I'm going to pick Ben Fiore to win the LMP2 class. I'm going to pick Cale Davidson to win the LMP2 class. Sorry, I meant Ben for GTPs. And there's a lot of GT3s out here. I think half of them will not make it through the first lap, so it's going to be a little bit of a shootout. I like Brandon Schulenberger. I know he's a little bit of an oval guy, but you know what? Lucky number 7. I'm going to cheer for Brandon because, I mean, how can you hate Brandon? I mean, really, what has Brandon ever done that is against the spirit of the league?
You know, I'll tell you what, as a man of principle, I've had Brandon Schulenberger stay in my house, and I do highly recommend that man in your life. Brandon Schulenberger, what a man. Quite quality, in my opinion. But good picks there, Cade. Good picks. I do enjoy that at all. 18 viewers in the stream tonight. How you doing? Another thing here, Cade, you need to know is here with the esteemed panel, we often like to get involved with our chat viewers. That's right. For those who are unfamiliar with how this works, CSC broadcasts are podcast-style broadcasts. We do a little bit of seriousness. We do a little bit of trolling. We're going to probably see a little bit of vehicular terrorism tonight. We're going to be counting how many times we see vehicular terrorism. And if we see them, we're going to bring them in for an interview because we want to know exactly what's going through their heads as they decide to kill one another. But here we are. We're doing it live. They are getting ready. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see this come to fruition. It's something that I know for a fact that Ryan and Ricky both have worked tirelessly on to make this work. As you see, a man, in my opinion, who he is going to. The only unfortunate thing I'm going to note tonight is our Muhammad Alif is not here. He's not racing this evening, who frequently would win our other races, but he is in a GTP class. What I'm going to tell you is when we get to points racing and it's Sean versus Alif, you're going to watch two titans of the sport here. You're going to watch two people who know what they're doing. They get paid to do it, and they're doing it live. A little fun fact about Sean Campbell here. Sean Campbell beat Max Verstappen in the 24 Hours of Daytona this year in iRacing. This man is certified as, in most public opinion, the best GTP driver in the world in this video game. And it is something that we are so happy to have him here racing this evening. It's going to get a great benchmark on our field, our quality of driver, in seeing just how can they stack up against someone who has competed against, quite literally, some of the best in the world.
And that's the exact reason why you went ahead and picked him first. So I'm always glad to give way to the older man and let him have that. But I think there's plenty of opportunities for even a guy like Campbell to run into some issues. He's going to catch the back half of this field very, very quickly. Not only are they slower GT3s, they are also not drivers who have gone against Max Verstappen. Some of them are drivers who have not raced in the Collegiate iRacing League until tonight. So Campbell is going to have to not only drive fast, but also drive smart, drive clean. And if anything happens to him, look at the rest of the GTP class. Edwin Onofre, Christian Hill, Ryan Whitlock, my pick, Ben Fiore, Hunter Hedesti. All of these guys are very accomplished road racers in their own rights. And so any one of them could pounce if issues happen to that number 26 GTP.
You are absolutely right. You are absolutely right. You know, we're here on the formation lap. We are getting ready to see these drivers roll on off. Sean Campbell, he is ready. The pace car is also ready. It's ready to go into the pit lane. For the first time, we get to announce a sponsored race is about to go green here from the Dewalkens Glen 1 hour presented by Sons of Kent Brewery. It's go, go, go from Watkins Glen. Sean Campbell takes the lead. We're 3 wide already to the third stretch here. LT2 is running. GT3 is running. Everybody getting involved here. Sean Campbell takes a quick and early commanding lead here at Watkins Glen. They head up through the S's now. Everybody running clean, 2x2, 1x1, single file in some places. As they come through the second part of the S's, Sean Campbell still in the lead. Edwin Onofre second. That looks to be, I believe, that's Christian Hill in third. Yes, it is Christian Hill in third. He seems to have passed. I'm looking to see who he passed here. I can't really see this on my screen that well. That's Ryan Whitlock in fifth. I think Hunter Hedesti. No, it's Ben Fiore in fourth. Something happened to Hunter Hedesti. I think he lost time to Jaime Placencia. But here's Christian Hill. He's currently in P3 in the Cadillac. I believe that's an Acura. He's currently in P3 here in the Acura. He's coming around the bend into the boot here, Cade, as it looks to be. Oh, he's got some attacker from the outside.
Yeah, he went side by side there, able to get a jump on the outside. I think momentum's going to go to the bottom lane here. Off in the grass goes Ben Fiore. He is a man, I think, who did not want to be doing lawn care on lap number 1, but he keeps it straight in the 4th spot, right on the bumper of Christian Hill. Hill gets a pretty good exit there, but if these two get to fighting, that could serve them on a platter for Whitlock. Here goes the move to the inside from Fiore. Nothing to it, and back out of the boot. Momentum goes to Christian Hill. He maintains 3rd.
And ladies and gentlemen, it may have only been 1 minute into this race, but we have to report our first retirement. LMP2 Garrett Biden is out due to internet connectivity issues. It has only been 1 lap, but it is unfortunate for him. We wanted to see him do well this season, but it's going to have to wait till race 2. First race points-paying race, but the second race of our 6th race season here, in this preseason race here. Ben Fiore, he's on the attack. He is really slipping down the snout. His snout is inside the hybrid system there of Christian Hill. What is he doing here? Is he bump drafting? Are we at Talladega? I don't really think so, but here we go. We're going to attack the curves really aggressively here. Ben Fiore doing his best here to try and follow a lot of dirty air, a lot of outwash there. He keeps it straight, he keeps it smooth, and he's still rolling here as he gets into the booth.
Ben Fiore had a moment there where he thought he was back at Daytona and still wanted to try to run with the bump draft. He's still close enough to Christian Hill to have an opportunity to make some moves here later in this race. But for the moment, he is stuck in the 4th position. We've got some amazing drivers keeping in the field if we want to get to that. But for now, these GTPs have just not strung out.
No, they have not. No, they have not, as I continue to finish my dinner, because you made me start this cast about 10 minutes after I got home from work. But
if we could take a look back to hold on, Wyatt Burton is side by side. There's a big mess going on here. This looks to me to be in the LMP2 class, deep in the thick of things. Ian Brown has taken the lead of that classification, and there's a good battle going on right now between Ryan Barkins and Wyatt Burton. There they are. Look at that.
Yes, there are. They looked at there's Thomas Crump and a couple other guys in there. That's a gaggle of Dallara P217s. A really bad LMP2 that somehow still is the only LMP2 in this game. If we went to the Eureka, man, these guys would have to buy another car. But here they are. Coming to you guys now. If for anyone wondering at home, what is the time difference between LMP2 and GTP? It's about 4 seconds a lap. Our GTP drivers right now are running really calm, cool, and comfortable minute 35s around Dewalkens Glen. But our LMP2 drivers, they're running about minute 40s. So about a 5-second difference between the two of those. But for anyone wondering how fast the GT3 is, it's about 146. So total about a 10-second difference across all 3 classes. But I'd like to point out Hunter Hidesti real fast. He told me to mention this on the broadcast. I said I would. If we could go to Hunter Hidesti real fast on car number 888, if you will. 888, please. Hunter Hidesti. You may be able to see it on broadcast. I'm still trying to confirm, but he told me tonight to read out that his wing sponsor is Start Digging in Your Butt Twin. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I don't know what. As our producer's laughing, shout out to our producer Lex Kane over here. They are doing a great job this evening dealing with the antics of the fact that the panel is the panel. But yes, Hunter Hidesti, a great sponsor there. I hope they paid a lot of money. That's a GT3 there. I'd like to know who that GT3 is. That's Chase Gerard. There looks to be some damage. Car number 99. It's a Porsche there. A lot of front-end damage, actually. Kind of difficult to tell, but got somebody behind them. That's Jason Satterley in a different... Jason Satterley in the... That looks to be the Auburn... GTP. Indeed. As we climb on through here now. You know,
Jordan with the right side tires in the grass. Sorry, look at that. That was actually a pretty good save. Kept that car going straight. I don't know what's wrong with it. Not easy to save it once you get that right front tire off in the grass.
You are absolutely right. Absolutely right, sir.
And I'm taking a look at it here, and there was definitely some first lap calamity. I'm seeing Jake Cummings in an LMP2 is a lap down. Pierce Hanley in an LMP2 could be out of this race. Nolan Starkey, Cale Davidson, both those drivers I don't believe even took the green flag. So my pick for the LMP2 class isn't even out here. Chase Girard, Mason Gay, both those drivers in GT3s having issues, and they're currently in the pits with a lot of damage. Issues befalling the 43 of Logan McKim as well. Just updates on a few guys caught up in some antics at the beginning of the race. I think Alexander Diamond and Jordan Rickey got together. A lot going on there. And we're only 2-3 laps into this race, so it's not over at all.
You know,
there's Alexander Diamond. That's the Drexel driver.
We're very limited in. Oh my goodness, not Diamond. I loved Alexander Diamond. Really great steward for the College Cup Series. Clint Halterman here. He's in sixth. What happened to Clint Halterman? He got turned. He got turned by who? Who was that? Who turned him? Jonathan Ocasio. Oh no. Oh no. That's vehicular terrorism. I need to see if they are in the chat. Can I bring them in for a question? I don't got Ocasio, but I sure as heck can pull Clint Halterman in here.
Clint, we need Clint in here right now. Hey,
Clint Halterman, welcome to the panel. What happened?
That was the dumbest move I've seen in my entire life. I'm sorry. What the hell was that? Like,
exactly. Do we need to go call his mother?
I mean, I don't know what in the world that I didn't even think he was close enough to even try anything, and then all of a sudden he's in the back of me and I'm in the wall.
You know, we really thought the first act of vehicular terrorism this season was going to be a multi-class incident, but that was vehicular terrorism. Would you agree?
I mean, I have to agree. I mean, he tried to move earlier. Well, not really tried. He poked his nose out, I think lap 2 or something, in that same corner. And I was like, that's interesting, because then he messed up the whole flow of his corner. And I don't know. I have to look at the replay for my angle. It certainly felt like just murder. I don't know.
I've got to completely agree with you. I have to completely agree. So, Clint, some okay news and some bad news. We didn't really get this set up in time, so I don't really have a lot of music.
Oh.
But you're going to have to understand that we're going to ask you some questions first.
Okay.
We got to ask you a couple questions.
Gotcha.
One, why'd you choose GT3?
Well, I haven't really driven the LMP2 in years, and I haven't driven the GTP since the new tire model. And those are big things about it. I wasn't really like super comfortable in them, and after doing the last 2 seasons in GT3s in CIL, I felt that this was my most comfortable car, honestly, and that's kind of the main reason. I feel like this is closer to, I mean, it's not really close to the NASCAR stuff on stock court or on road courses, which is usually what I prefer, but it's the closest thing to it rather than the prototypes. So yeah, honestly, I just feel more comfortable with GT3 compared to the prototype classes.
I want to give another update real fast on another Cade Corbin pick. Brandon Schulenberger has been given the black flag of the pits for internet connectivity issues. So Brandon Schulenberger and Cale Davidson having tough days. Remember last season, folks, that Cale Davidson lost the preseason race for the last season of the Esteemed Panel because he wanted to go get a wing stop order. And that's enough lore for you. That's really what you need to know. But, so Clint, yes. you told us why you picked a GT3. I've had a lot of great conversations with you. I think the panel's had a lot of great conversations with you. A fellow panel member by the name of Ryan Whitlock has decided that this season he wouldn't be part of the panel. He would rather drive.
Right.
What is your opinion about that?
I think, I don't know. He was a great panel member.
Of course.
He was. We had many banter. I feel like, we had banter when he was panel and driver at the Nordschleife. And I may have had a few beverages for that race. And
Don't worry about it. They were
the
Sons of Kent beverages, weren't they? They were Sons of Kent.
Exactly, yes. Sons of Kent, sponsor of the race, of course. I am part Canadian. And I've been there for sure. Yeah, so I will miss our fellow esteemed panel member, Ryan Whitlock, in racing in P2 in the GTP. I hope that he doesn't exact his revenge on me by murdering me in my little old GT3 car for our beef at the Nordschleife. But yeah,
I sure hope not too. I mean, for both of our sakes, I really hope that does not happen.
yeah,
Mr.
It'd be an
Halterman.
expensive night for OWR if that happens. We don't
It
have
would.
to-
I've already taken out 10 mortgages.
Right, yeah. I might have to take out. I mean, I've already got this car's a write-off too. It's got wheel damage and stuff. So.
Oh my God! What are you doing? What are you doing to my financial situation? Clint?
Listen. That was not my fault. It was the. I don't even know who it was at this point. I forgot his name, but send him the bill.
Jonathan Ocasio seems to be who it was, and you need me to send him a bill.
Yes, send him the bill for the damages.
I'm gonna have to look into it. I really am. I have to be truthfully honest with you. But Clint, one more question before I get this game show music ready. How do you feel about Zach the Whale?
Oh, Pookie Bear Zach the Whale. Where do I even start? He's my favorite Canadian of all time. He does a fantastic Christopher Walken impression. If that's a little fun fact about our favorite Canadian, Mr. Zach the Whale. He's just an overall outstanding fellow, and yeah, good guy. And I wish he was here tonight, but unfortunately he lost power. So
he certainly did. He certainly did. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to get this stuff to upload, but it's just not really working. So instead, we're gonna go to a game show, Mr. Halterman. We're gonna go. We're gonna go to a game show here. The insert Price is Right theme music here, but Mr. Clint Halterman, this game show is called God Bless Canada and Zach the Whale. Are you ready to play?
I'm ready.
I knew you were from the start. This game show, it's very simple rules. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. I'm going to ask you a few questions. You get them right, and you get to have the floor. You get to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Talk about your mother. Talk about your wife. I don't know. Gotcha. Or if you lose, I do have to get you out of here. So you ready to play?
I'm ready.
Okay, round one. A question about Canada. How many provinces are in Canada?
Oh, crap. I have two numbers in my head. I'm not sure if either of them are right. I'm thinking of 8 and 11. I'm going to say 8?
Neither of your guesses were right. The answer is actually 13. So we're going to have to get you out of here. But first, it's time for some beef court, because guess who's here?
Oh,
Jonathan Ocasio, welcome to the panel. Welcome to the panel. It's time for beef court. What do you have to say to Clint Halterman?
Nothing really. I mean, I just got alongside you. I felt like I was half a car on the inside and kind of turned in. I ran over the curb a bit. I mean, if you didn't think otherwise, then I mean, I'm sorry, but at the same time, like I just outbroke you. I don't know. That was like the only time I really had a chance.
I highly disagree. I don't think you were even there. I have to check the replay, but
I checked my replay, and I was half a car along the inside, in the corner.
Okay, well, I didn't think you were even close to making an overtake there, and I saw it the last second, and I tried to give you room, and then
I feel like
I was turned around.
I mean, I'm sorry, but like there was a gap. I went for it. I knew I
I'm
had a good
not
braking ability.
10 minutes into the race?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Well, all right. So
I got too much more to say then.
we're being very civilized here. I do like this, but Mr. Ocasio,
going on?
I have actually put this to our panel of jurors, and they say you committed vehicular terrorism. What do you have to say about that?
I don't feel like I did. I mean, if we're gonna talk about that, I got roughed up pretty bad on lap 1, and so I mean, if that's how everything's gonna go, I mean, I just went for a move.
Well, I didn't rough you up, so not sure why.
No, not you.
How that's relevant.
Just everyone else. Everyone was being pretty aggressive.
Okay.
So,
All right.
I mean, that's fine. Like I don't know what you want me to say. I already said I'm sorry, but I saw a gap and I went for it. It's just that simple.
Well,
All right.
if that's all I have to say, I finally did get the music right, so y'all do actually get to hear what I would have played for your beef court.
Okay.
There you go. Have a good one.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Cade. So there's your first little tidbit of what happens on the panel. How you feeling so far?
I think they kept it pretty civil, of course.
I wanted to hear. I wanted to see fisticuffs.
Well, I gotta give some respect to Jonathan there. He didn't back down. He didn't. I've never heard of this guy. I don't know who he is. I don't know what school he goes to. He goes to one of them.
He goes to Kentucky.
But UK, all right. Well, he shows up here, and he talks to Clint Alterman, right? A guy he's been on the panel before. He's been around the Collegiate iRacing League forever, right? He's not from College for nothing. And he comes on here. Clint tells him, hey, you roughed me up, or you did it wrong, and he stands his ground, right? That is something that I can respect in a guy. I can respect in a driver. So Jonathan won my respect with that exchange, even if he absolutely killed one of my favorite CIL drivers.
I can respect that. I'm looking for another guy to talk. I'm looking for some action right now. I'm going to be quite honest with you. Sean Campbell.
The GT3 lead battle has been pretty crazy. Drew Williams, Robbie Kissel. These two have been going at it. They just went a lap down to the
Connor Bingle just spun out. I think I got to talk to him. Connor Bingle, what happened?
Connor.
A certain Ball State driver who shall remain nameless.
I want to know.
You want to know?
I want to know.
Well, he shares your name.
He shares my... Nick Henley?
Mayhaps.
We can't talk about Nick Henley like that. That's just absolutely poor.
I love Henley, too. That's the worst part, bro. I'm like, dude, why? I thought we were chill.
Oh, boy.
I was running pretty good, though, for a minute there. You got to admit.
If Nick Henley was here, I'd have to open another session of beef court. But, well, Connor Bingle, how you doing this evening?
We were doing pretty good, honestly, up until recently. I think once the tires cooled down, I don't know. I just got alt-tabbed by my computer. Let's see how this goes. Going to the bus stop here for position.
Well, you just got passed.
Yeah, I saw that.
You're perfectly fine, though. You're currently sitting, I don't know what position you are in class, but overall you're 34th out of 40. 20th in class? I mean, that's respectable. Hey, there you go. You gave Sean Campbell plenty of room. Good boy.
Yeah, I'm doing this CPU usage thing right now. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, so, Connor, welcome back to the panel. You were a frequent guest last season of the panel. We're trying to gather some opinions here this evening. What are your thoughts on Ricky and Ryan deciding to leave the panel?
Oh, dude, trash tier move. Easily the worst decision they've made in years. I just can't respect them for it. Quitting while they're ahead.
Completely understandable. Completely understandable. So I see you've picked a GT3 car. We're asking everybody this evening, why did they pick that car? Why'd you pick GT3?
Because my I rating is 1300.
Completely understandable. Another question. This is a Connor Bingle specific question. I'm actually going to open the floor to Cade Corbin. I want to hear him roast you.
That's not
Oh,
a
no.
question. That's a statement. But boy, I am sure happy to follow through with that one. Oh
no.
man, Connor, we all know the real reason you picked the GT3 is because you like your goofy little front engine cars. You like your funny little Ford boy fixed on road daily. I know every time you're driving it, you got to fix that sucker, which is actually really unfortunate because I'm the one who that all comes back to now. So you better keep my car clean there, Bucko. And I know unfortunately you're not very good at that. So just remember, you are not Ken Miles. You are Ken Meters, and don't try anything too much for you.
Oh, golly bum!
I got him good, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Yeah, Ken Meters, man. That's going to be a new nickname. Well, Connor Bingle, it's always time for your favorite part. I know this is your favorite part. Let's cue some music. Welcome, Connor Bingle. Welcome to the game show. It's called God Bless Canada and Zach the Whale. You ready to play?
Oh, I'm so ready, Nick. You have no idea.
I know you're ready. It's a very simple game show tonight. 3 questions. They have 3 different categories. But get all 3 right. I'm going to give you this soapbox to say whatever you got to say. And if you get anything wrong, I'm going to get you out of here. You ready to play?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Of course. First category is Canada. How many provinces are there in Canada?
Oh, you're going to have to make me bust out my nut. 12?
Oh, that's going to be, I think this is called, yeah, that's what it's called. The answer's 13. So, yeah, 13, actually. You were one off. You're one off, and this isn't horseshoes and hand grenades. We're not going with close here. But, Connor, just because you're a good sport, and you did get spun by Nick Henley, and I do relate to Ball State terrorism, you get to thank one person before you go.
Well, I'm going to thank
I know who you should thank.
Mr. Jaime. I'm not thanking you, Kate. I'm thanking Jaime, and y'all will find out why.
I said he gets to thank one person, and that's one person only. So we are back to the action at hand. The league, our producer Lex Kane over here is having a ball, like just laughing a bunch here.
They're behind the trees. What are they doing?
I'd like to see some cars. Okay, here we got Ryan Whitlock and Ben Fiore. They're going at it. They're just swinging haymakers at each other right now. I do like to see this battle here. I've got a lot of faith in Ryan to command and take control of this GTP race. He's 10 seconds behind Sean Campbell, but who isn't 10 seconds behind Sean Campbell? The answer is actually only Christian Hill and Edwin Onofre. Which, Christian Hill to be only 9 seconds behind Sean Campbell, that's a fucking great day for Christian Hill. But, for Edwin Onofre is Sean Campbell's closest competition at just 4 seconds back. He's waiting to pounce for something. There's traffic. It's time for some traffic. You know what that means. There was a car that spun, but they thankfully towed away. Good for them. That's exactly what I wanted to see out of them. As I go through looking at the field here, I'm trying to find Drew Williams because he's still in the lead. And
he only has it by about a car length, though. Sorry, he and Robbie Kissel have been duking it out. It's been a great battle off on the side. That's for the lead of the GT3 class. They're about 2 minutes apart. There they are.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's a really great looking orange and orange flame on purple Mustang there from Drew Williams. There's Robert Kiesel. He got a really good run out of the corner. 2 Mustangs here. A lot of people favoring the Mustang this season. I got to say, this is one ugly GT3. This is the ugliest GT3 in all of the field. The Mustang is absolutely hideous. But I'm watching a bunch of them here this year. But Robert Kiesel, he's in the draft. He's getting that great sucking up to the rear bumper here of Drew Williams, Cade, and could he make a move here into the bus stop?
I think maybe he could have if there's about a minute to go, but there's still 34 minutes left in this race. This 5 car's been super duper smart all night long. He's just stayed right there with Drew. He's raced him nice and clean, and he's setting him up. And Drew certainly isn't going to give him anything, but I think when the time comes, Robbie's going to have the chance to take it from him.
Yes, indeed. I'm looking through looking through a little bit of our chat here this evening. We got some Jordan Ricky fans in the chat. We got some. We had someone heartbroken for Connor Bengal. Bengal's got a fan out there. Who would have figured? Ryan's got some fans. Looks like Alex has some fans. Alex, yeah, there you go. Keegan and Logan have some fans. Someone named Dr. Milkers has a fan, but I don't know who Dr. Milkers is. This is pretty interesting. Alex Jones. I have a really, really vocal fan for Alex Jones. And in fact, if we could pull up Alex Jones, I forget what kind of car he drives. He's in an LMP2, car number 45. You want Alex Jones? We'll bring in Alex Jones. Here he is here for his debut with the esteemed panel. Alex Jones, welcome to the panel. How you doing? You're doing good. Well, that's exactly what we want to hear. You're currently 7th in class. You're 1 lap down overall, 15th overall, if you were wondering. How has the LMP2 race been for you?
I have been given a setup by Ben Fior. It's not any good.
Yeah,
I am very slow. So I am attempting to not die, and I'm attempting to just finish the race.
I completely understand about just finishing the race. That's everything that we want to hear as you pass. I believe that's Mason Gay.
That is Mason Gay, yeah.
The GT3 McLaren Mason Gay. So Alex, you debuted this summer in our Supercar series. It was decent to race against you sometimes and undecent in others, depending on the day. Just like it's sometimes decent to race against Cade until I kill him in an Xfinity car. But, that's okay. We're not going to talk about those, right, Cade?
I mean, we certainly can. We have the beef music. We got the beef.
We don't have to talk about it, Cade, okay?
We don't
have to.
I
We
think
don't
this is
have
about Alex. I think this is Alex's moment in the spotlight.
You're
That's
right.
what
You're right. This is exactly what we need to talk about. So, Alex, welcome to the panel. I've already said this once, but I'm going to say it again. Welcome to the panel. We ask you a bunch of questions, and then we play a game show. So, first question, we've been asking everybody this question. Why did you choose your car? Why did you choose the LMP2?
Because it's the only sports car that I won't wreck it on the first lap in, if I'm honest.
That's quite fair in my opinion. I'm not gonna really hold that against you personally. That's actually a pretty valid opinion. So I can't really ask a second question, so I'm gonna ask a third question because you are a rookie to this series. How's your race been?
As I said earlier, not the greatest setup. I'm running a little slow. I am trying to just finish the race. And I think I'm about 2 seconds off everyone else's pace, so not great.
Understandable. Is there hope to get? Is there hope to get in the mix? I see you have passed Thomas Crump on pit strategy. Do you need to pit soon?
Yeah, I'm coming in this lap.
No, you're coming in this lap. That's actually pretty decent to hear. But are you ready to play the game show?
Yeah, I'll say so.
I think you're ready to play the game show. Well, Alex, welcome to the game show. The game show is very simple for you, bud. Welcome to it. Game show is called God Bless Canada and Zach the Whale. You ready to play?
Sure.
So the rules are very simple. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. 3 questions from 3 different categories. Get all 3 questions right, and you get the floor to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Thank your mother, thank your wife. I don't know what you're going to thank. But if you get any of them wrong, I get you out of here. So I know you're ready to play. So we're going to get you to the first question. First question, the category is Canada. How many provinces are there in Canada?
Let's go with 7.
Oh, boy,
was told it was
that
not
is
12.
that is so bad. That's actually even worse. The answer is 13. So the answer is 13, Alex. But since you're such a sport and you're a rookie, I'm going to allow you to thank one person.
Definitely not Ben or he sent me the wrong setup, I think. I'll thank my parents. They're watching the race. I'll thank.
He thanked two people. He thanked his parents. I said one person. It's a very simple rule here. Okay,
He's a rookie, all right? It's counted as hard.
I know
he's new to this whole college thing.
It's a very
he's
simple
gonna take a class
question
about it, and he's gonna learn the difference between 1 and 2.
I would expect to know that by college. He goes to Rose-Hulman.
Maybe it's an Institute of Technology, right? They have technology that counts for them. I mean,
it's a pretty fancy college. You got to be pretty smart to get in there.
They're so close together. They're like one
I
number
told
apart.
him thank one person. He thanked his parents.
According to your bank account, your parents are one person. So really, he's just getting kind of the financial.
According to my bank account, I get my own money. Thank you. I have a job.
I don't know. If you get married, it's like you kind of. In the eyes of the IRS, you're basically just one person with two bodies.
Well, no one really likes the IRS. Everybody tries to find a way to commit some tax fraud, except me for legal reasons. This is a joke. But everybody, no one likes the IRS. Just like but someone who like everybody likes Sean Campbell. He's in the lead right now. He's going through some trees, it looks like, but Sean Campbell. He's coming up on some traffic. He's got to navigate this traffic in precise order here. I see him driving through the field. There he goes. He's cutting through quite nicely. Something to watch out for, really, if you think about it. His car is looking quite clean. He just passed Jonathan Cruz and what looks to be Edward Sanchez. But I'm going to look through here for a couple other. We're getting some people up here. The hosts are upset, it seems. That's what we've seen here. You want to know what? I'm not upset. I'm just a little bit peeved. I said thank one Holy crap! That's Clint Alterman. He's back in the wall. That car! He turned the other way. That's a right-hand turn. That's a right-hand turn, and he turned left. I know you talked about unk status there, Cade. Thanks for calling us old, but I would have thought Clint would have understood what to do there. Jesus Christ.
Oh, now he's parking it.
Oh, God. Not Clint Alterman. I can't take this.
There goes Logan McKim.
Oh, no. By the way, Robert Kiesel passed Drew Williams, by the way. That's because Drew's in the pits.
Well, by the way, there's a heated battle going on for the LMP2 class lead at the moment. If we want to look at that, that is Ian Brown has passed Keegan Kallick, but only has him by 0.3 of a second. I ran the Dewalkens Glen 6-hour with Keegan Kallick, and he was incredible on pave. I believe that's Keegan right in the LMP2 behind him, right in that slipstream. And if this is the battle for the class lead, it could get intense.
That is not it. Keegan Kallick's actually way far ahead. He's actually up the S's and up the hill. He's on the backstretch right now. There's Keegan Kallick. He has made he's gotten way far ahead. In fact, that guy behind Ian Brown is Adam Willoughby of Clemson University, the alumni LMP2. He's actually running really well right now in P3. But Adam Willoughby is a known vehicular terrorist. He's probably going to kill somebody this race, and there's something to be said. We got a lot of very nice chat, folks, and chat. Here's some invitation for you. Riley Perkins gets hurt. That's another episode of Vehicular Terrorism. Who hit him? Give me a replay. Sponsored by somebody who wants to insert their sponsor here. That's right, pay me. But Riley Perkins, did he get some help?
He absolutely got some help. That's a GT3 who's inside. Can't tell who it was, but we're going to rewind and watch it in reverse.
That GT3 is slow, and he got some help. He got a lot of help. he he got a lot of help, and that is just unfortunate. I don't like that.
That may
You
have
know,
been John Voight from Penn State. I'm not sure.
It may have been. You never really know, but that was kind of rude of him. In all honesty, I'm going to be quite honest. That was kind of rude. But
Or John Voight.
John Voight committed vehicular terrorism.
I think so. I mean, I don't want to point any fingers before we get proof. All right, well, that's John Voight's car. That's not the car that was involved.
No. How many minutes we got left here? I think we got like 25. If I'm reading it, the stream I'm looking at so blurry. I'm sorry, folks, for folks at home. I'm doing my best here. We walked in with about 5 minutes of prep, but we're trying our best here. And I've lost connection here. Hold on.
I have connection. We're looking at John Voight here, driver from Penn State. Not the cause of the previous accident, so we're not exactly sure who that was.
Much clearer. We're back.
Absolutely. Thank you to our producer, Lee, for putting in the work and, getting this figured out for us.
Yes, indeed. We're getting a request to see Ryan Barkins. Can we put the camera on Ryan Barkins? I'm trying to get you a car number. The request is for Ryan Barkins. I'm trying to see. Oh, it's car number 172, an LMP2 car. Car number is 172.
Sitting fourth in the LMP2 class.
Ryan Barkins, he's fourth in LMP2. If he was in a voice chat, I'd pull him in to have a conversation with the panel. But he is not. He's from the University of Alabama, Roll Tide. And, he's, I don't know about you, Cade. I don't know if you follow college football, but, the Tide are very good. They're way better than Georgia. I think they're the best team in the SEC again this year. It'll be really fun to watch the Tide play college football. Do you agree with me, Cade?
I think they've had the tide turn the past couple of seasons. I mean, they have not been their former selves. I think, whatever, it was a few years ago, they won back-to-back championships, and they haven't been to the final game since. So if they can turn it around, good for them. Certainly Ryan Barkins probably hopes they will. I don't know. But I think in the SEC...
Christian, oh my goodness!
That's Ryan Whitlock!
What? Oh no! Oh no! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh no! There! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! I gotta get them both in here at the same time.
Foot the bill for that one. I am upset in so many ways.
Oh no! Oh no! You've gotta be serious with me right now. I've got to pull them both in here. Well, welcome to Beef Court. Christian.
0.8 if you're really trying to stretch it.
Christian and Ryan, welcome to Beef Court here. We've seen what just happened live. Tell us about it.
Christian, you go first.
So Ryan was really slow. He's on old tires. I did change my tires. And then, so Ryan held the inside line all the way to the corner. So then, but then he went super wide, and then all of a sudden cut back in, and he ended up turning himself on me.
Ryan, your defense.
I mean, I'll admit I defended the inside line. I was on old tires, and I did swing out and then try to come back in, because that's at least how I like to take that corner. But I mean, if the distance between me and the curb never is a car width, then it's not going to be. I mean, I don't know if Christian expected me to get out of his way or not. I'm racing the guy. Just, and he's on faster tire or better tires. He will get by me. If he lifts his foot off the gas one time, as you do all the time trying to pass GT3s or prototypes there, and he gets me in the next corner, no problem. But instead, both of our races are over because he couldn't wait one corner.
As we just go through the replay here, there's a lot of damage to Ryan's Acura here. A lot of rear damage. Looks like the entire rear fascia is eliminated.
I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah.
Oh, you spun it again. Oh God.
Oh no, I'm in the pits because that was like 2 toe links. I don't know how much damage I have.
Understandable. Christian. So we've heard his side of the story now, saying you could have waited one more turn. Do you really feel like you could have waited one more turn?
Considering how hard Ryan defended that turn going into that turn, he would have done the same thing next corner and the next corner and the next corner, and just driving kind of erratically. But I don't know. I wouldn't say erratically. That's a bit far-fetched. But definitely he slid out. He went in really, really wide. It's an unfortunate incident. I would like to watch the replay afterwards. Fortunately, I guess I am still driving, but.
Completely understandable. Well, gentlemen, as part of Beef Court this year, we end up going to the court of public opinion. The jury will decide who is in the right and who is in the wrong, and whoever is in the right gets to stay for game show. Whoever's in the wrong have to send back. And I have been told through the court of public opinion that Christian is in the wrong for this incident. So that is unfortunate for you, Christian. We'll probably talk to you later, but for now I have to say goodbye. Ryan, welcome back to the panel.
Yeah, good to be back, guys.
It's good to be back. I wish it was under better circumstances, but here we are anyway. So Ryan, why did you pick the Acura?
It's just my favorite car. I know a lot of people run it because it's got one of the more favorable bops in iRacing. It's just my favorite GTP. They could give it 50 kilos and I'd still drive it.
It's got a favorable bop, so you're telling me it's part of the bop house?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that.
Sure. So Ryan, I have been told, now that I can confirm this, the people are saying that your race this evening has gone about as well as your life on Hinge. What would you like to say about that?
Actually, that's work has been tough lately. The start of the semester has been tough, and obviously my race just now went tough. But as far as my escapades with women on Hinge go, things could be worse.
Well, okay. I will take that as an answer. Cade, you got a question for him?
I have so many questions. I don't even know where to begin, boy. Unfortunately, Ryan, you were the only Charger Motorsports car that had not yet crashed in this race, and unfortunately, we went 4 for 4 today. So,
Would Jordan crashed?
He was involved in something at the beginning. He's still doing all right. He got some wheel damage, I think. Of course, we saw Connor crash, and Mason got taken out on the lap 1. So it's not been a good day to be a driver from the University of Alabama in Huntsville. But Ryan, I guess I gotta ask, are you gonna help me fix this so we can get some cars to finish next week at Road America?
Well, I can't make any promises in regards to Connor Bingle. He kind of makes his own decisions.
Ooh.
Bing bong.
As I said, ooh.
Ooh. I thought you said ooh. Yeah, I think I just made the wrong strategy call this race and put myself in a position to get punted by Christian that I probably shouldn't have been in the first place. I was going to bring home 5th at worst, and instead I'm not finishing. So, sometimes you got to decide when you're going to go for things and when you're not. And as much as I wanted to keep that spot, I, could have been smarter.
Well, that's definitely a good thing to hear. Nick, is it time for the game show?
I think it just might be. Ryan, you're now the 3rd incident of vehicular terrorism this evening. Would you believe that all incidents of vehicular terrorism this evening are in the same class? There's been no multi-class vehicular terrorism?
Really? So it's all been like within class cars?
Yeah, the first two were GT3 on GT3
Oh, wow.
terrorism, and then now it's been GTP on GTP terrorism.
I mean, given how big the GT3 field is, I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. I'm surprised that LMP2s haven't managed to kill each other yet, although I think Adam Willoughby certainly tried at some point.
Yeah, we're going to have to probably talk to him later, but for now... 1 second, technical difficulties. Welcome, Mr. Ryan Whitlock. Welcome to the game show. Are you ready to play?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, this game show is called God Bless Canada and Zach DeWale. It's going to be 3 questions in 3 different categories. And if you get them all right, you get the soapbox to do whatever you want to do with it. If you don't, I get you out of here. You ready to play?
All right, sure.
Category number 1, Canada. How many provinces are there in Canada?
Whoa. Ooh, that's a good question. I'm second guessing myself, but my first thought was 8.
I can't help you here, but
what was it?
That's a bit wrong. The answer is 13.
13? Oh my gosh. Okay.
The answer is 13. But Ryan, because you won Beef Court, you do get an honorary 1 person to thank.
Cade for joining the booth. Thank you, Cade.
Yeah.
He gets 1 person and 1 person only, and he is out. Well, Cade, he thanked you. What do you got to say about that?
I mean, I feel honored. I mean, I'm happy with him, as a driver on the team. I'm glad that he can at least count to 1. I know that's been a difficulty here in the past tonight, but hey, he managed to pull it off.
Well, I mean, you got Connor Bagel. I would imagine that's kind of difficult. Oh, Chase Gerard. He's in the wall.
Wreck their eggs in the boot. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, Ryan, there's a lot of people who've worked with Ryan, helped Ryan out. So I guess to be the one that he decides to thank, I'm proud of that. That'll be cool. I'll put that on a little plaque. I'll print it out and I put it here behind me and have that in my camera shot.
Yeah, that's usually something to say. To the people in chat asking for us to put the camera back on car 172, we've had the camera on car 172. It's already there. We're showing him live. Ryan Barkins. You should probably convince Ryan Barkins to be in the voice chat. We talked to the guy if he was here, but he's not, so we're not talking to him. But there he is. He's on the camera. By the way, Sean Campbell has a 12-second lead. If you're really wanting to know how he's doing tonight, he's kind of dumpstered on the field. He's just passed Robert Kiesel, who is still, I believe, the leader of GT3. Yes, he is. He's the leader of GT3. And he's the leader by a pretty significant margin now at this point. I'd say at least quite a few seconds. But I'd like to talk to second place in GT3 if I could. I'm going to pull him up into the booth here. Drew Williams, welcome to the panel.
Howdy.
You did lead at one point in your class, but instead you're now in second place. People were saying, I was getting reports, that you said you were going to, quote, dumpster on this field and Clint Halterman, they can't touch me, and you're second.
Well, we experimented with tire strategy. Thought, maybe with the high track temp, tires could work. Despite saying all week I'm not going to take tires, I took tires, and now we're here. We're gaining on Kinzel a little bit, but I don't think we're going to get him.
Well, who's Riley Birkins mad over the radio? He is saying a lot of things about a lot of different people. But so Drew, we get to ask the panel we get to ask you a bunch of different questions. First question we're going to ask you this evening is, why'd you pick the Mustang?
Because I am an idiot who can't drive mid-engine cars. My small American brain only understands big motor, big loud pedal. So this just felt like the most appropriate choice.
Okay, so you picked a GT3. I was getting reports that you picked a GT3 because you were scared of superior competition. This is true.
No, I think I could beat the field in a stroller, but definitely equipping myself with the best car for battles seems appropriate.
Oh, you have a car prepared for combat?
Yes.
Well, completely understandable considering 2 acts of vehicular terrorism that I had been GT3 on GT3 crime. We recently had a beef court in here. We had a beef court between Ryan and Christian, and I want to get some inside information. Holy crap! Hunter Hidesti has just been turned!
Oh no, that is the 888 alumni from Clemson, hard on the outside wall. Good.
That is actually the first multi-class vehicular terrorism incident. He was terrorized by a GT3. Who did he get terrorized by? If we could go back a little bit in this replay, who did he get turned by? That's a GT3. It's a Porsche of some kind. Who is that? Who was behind him? It's this Porsche right here. If going through the trees, it's this Porsche here, and Hunter turns down on him a little bit. Porsche gives him no room. We'll have to talk to Hunter about that real shortly here. We only got a few minutes left actually. But so Drew, back to the lecture at hand. Oh boy, we're just a little bit behind today in terms of brain cells. How's your race been?
Frankly, I mean, after my biggest op in Clint Holterman was taken out, I really haven't had a whole lot to do. Had some fun with Robert as he pulled away from me, but now we're just logging laps. Don't really think any of these kids can keep up with me. I told them turning left and turning right's easy, and yeah, we're certainly stunning on this field today.
Completely understandable. Cade, you got any questions for him?
Man, I don't know. I do want to know. Oh, as we see a car spin again.
That's Hunter Hidesti.
That's Hidesti again. I guess I'm going to ask a serious question. You mentioned something about tires. You said you did take tires, so I'm going to take it that Kiesel did not take tires. Do you think that's something we're going to see for the rest of the season? A little bit of tire strategy in this race.
There might be some strategy when people taking 1 set versus 2. I definitely think a 2-hour race, you're going to have to take at least 1 set. You're going to be miserable if you don't. But for the shortened format of the Clash, tires probably weren't necessary. But no, you should see some games throughout the season. It'll be fun.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. Nick, is it time, speaking of games, to put him on the game show?
There's potential in that. Welcome, Drew Williams, to the game show. The game show is called God Bless Canada and Zach the Whale. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
All right, so you know how this works. We're going to ask you 3 questions of 3 different categories. Get them right, and you get the floor to talk about whatever you want to talk about. Get them wrong, and I get you out of here.
Yeah.
Question number 1. Category is Canada. How many provinces are there in Canada?
14 provinces?
Ooh. Unfortunately, that is wrong. The answer is 13, actually. Drew, before I let you go, because you're such a great sport, I'm going to let you thank one person.
I'd like to thank Clint Holterman's race team.
He thanked Clint Holterman and Clint Holterman only. If he started saying Clint Holterman's race team, that I was going to get mad about. I was going to get really pissed off. You know, Cade, I'm tired of these people. I'd say one. Holy crap! More vehicular terrorism! And it's Burl! No! I can't take this anymore. Why? Why did it happen to Burl? Who killed him? I gotta bring him in. It looks to be a BMW of some kind.
It is a Beamer. Oh, that is
Who turned him?
I'm gonna try to find it.
Oh my goodness. No. I can't take this anymore. Why? Burl does so good. Why?
It may have been Enrique Nino. Nino. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced. It may have been that. That is the car that was closest to him when the incident came out.
It was who?
Enrique Nino. Yep, there he is. That's definitely the culprit, the 05.
Enrique Nino. Well, guess what, Nino? I'm going to have a Nino on you. Because I can't believe you've killed Andrew Burl. This is just absolutely poor. I can't believe this, kid. You know, Burl, he's just an innocent bystander. He didn't need that. He didn't deserve for that to happen to him. It's just sad.
I think being a Burl fan is one of the hardest things to do in sports. I mean, you can cheer for the Chicago Cubs, you know, you can cheer for, I don't know, some NBA team, and you can cheer for Andrew Burl, and you can get your heart broken week in and week out. I've wrecked Burl like 3 times, and I just haven't meant to. He just can't find a way to finish a race, and it's, I wish nothing but the best for Andrew Burl, but man, he is the unluckiest driver in the history of the Collegiate iRacing League.
It does have to be. When I did call his alumni victory in FC a couple seasons ago at the FC Long Beach race, it was the happiest moment of my life. But, you know, to know that Burl is done for today really does hurt my soul. We're at 2 minutes left in this race. I'd like to go back to our muse of the evening. Our muse of this evening being Sean Campbell. You know, when I introduced us this evening, I said Sean Campbell has the most experience out of anybody who's driving a GTP car this season, and he's going to put it on full display, and by golly, he sure has. We're looking at a 20-second whooping in just an hour of racing here this evening over Edwin Onofre. And ladies and gentlemen, Edwin Onofre is no slouch. He is one of the better GTP drivers in the field, currently sitting in P2, having a ball of a day. He is one of the more quality drivers in this field. In fact, to date, he is the only other winner of a points-paying race in R. Muhammad Alif in Collegiate Sportscar Challenge history. So the fact that Edwin Onofre is doing what he's doing tonight, being this close to Sean, is certainly something to note. But back to the lecture at hand. Sean Campbell in the lead of this race. He's cutting through some traffic here. He's dealing with some LMP2 traffic, it looks like now. He's just had a stellar evening, and I can't wait to talk to him. For those folks at home who are wondering how we're going to be talking this year, considering there's 3 classes, the goal is to at least talk to the winner of each class. And then if we get to talk to any more of the podium finishers in each class, that's lovely. But if not, please bear with us. I couldn't do 9 interviews in a row. I don't know about Cade, but Sean Campbell, I do believe he has taken the white flag. The white flag is out on this race. Sean Campbell in the lead. Keegan Kallick, he is currently leading the race in LMP2. He just hit another LMP2, but Keegan Kallick, he is currently in the lead of the LMP2 race. He's just now coming up the hill. Adam Willoughby is actually, I think Willoughby's ahead of him.
If Willoughby passed Kallick, that is.
I think Willoughby just passed Kallick. That is huge news for Willoughby fans out there if Willoughby just passed Kallick, because that would be a pass for the. It was! Kallick had to pit again! Adam Willoughby has made a pass for the lead on the last lap of the race. The LMP2 race is going to be settled through a pit stop. That is something you don't get to see every day. A complete congratulations to Adam Willoughby on that. We're looking at Sean Campbell here. He's coming up through the field. Want to check in one more time on our GT3 cars. The terrorists of the day, Robert Kiesel Jr., he is leading by a significant margin over Drew Williams. That race is going to be settled. But now we go to Sean Campbell. What a man in a moment and emotion. The first ever race sponsored by Sons of Kent Brewery and Zach DeWale. Sons of Kent, great drinks up there in Canada. Drink them if you're of age. Sean Campbell is going to win the Dewalkens Glen 1 hour. He wins the class. He wins the overall event. What a day by Sean Campbell. Adam Willoughby has just crossed the line to steal the LMP2 victory. He has stolen it in cold blood. He has earned a banner for OWR. What a man in a moment in emotion. As now we take a look at Robert Kiesel. Robert Kiesel, another man in moment of motion. He's currently going through the boot right now. He has to just keep it smooth, keep it straight, and keep it smart. He does all three of these things. He's going to come home a winner this evening. The 1 hour is over. We're happy to see it. We're happy to see it over. We talk it through right now with Robert Kiesel Jr. You know, Robert Kiesel, he was often a P4 to P5 car in the days of yore in a GT3. But now that he is here and here on his own, he has done excellent to get through the field and navigate traffic wonderfully. He comes through turn 6. Into turn 7 here for Robert Kiesel Jr. He is going to win the GT3 class in the Dewalkens Glen 1 hour. Robert Kiesel Jr. has won a CIL race for the first time in his career. Adam Willoughby has won a CIL race for the first time in his career. Sean Campbell breaks a record for longest gap between wins in a CIL career, dating back to, it has been 8 seasons since Sean Campbell has won a race. He has now won a race in season 13, with his last win coming in season 5. But Cade, what a race.
Yeah, it was a fantastic one all the way through. I mean, you talk about fuel mileage, that's something you got to consider. Of course, we mentioned tires there with Drew. It was an issue actually that came up in qualifying, is guys trying to get super aggressive with how much fuel was in their car. The less fuel that's in the car, the faster it goes. I noticed Keegan pitted super early. That was how he gave up the lead there at one point in the middle of the race, talking about that LMP2 class. And my guess is he just ran it a little bit short. And man, I know you picked him. I was cheering for him. Keegan's a great guy. And I mean, from north of the border, you know, who better to win in the Dewalkens 1 hour? But Adam Willoughby comes through, steals it for once in his CIL career. Maybe not so much of a weapon, and instead Willoughby the winner. So great stuff in all 3 classes. Of course, Campbell and Kiesel, congratulations to them as well. And hopefully we will get to talk to them here in just a couple minutes.
Of course. As I'm running through our list this evening, it looks like Sean Campbell, Edwin Onofre, and Christian Hill is the podium in GTP. The podium in LMP2 is, Adam Willoughby, Keegan Kallick, and Ian Brown. And then the podium in GT3 is Robert Kiesel, Drew Williams, and Nate Smith, someone who we didn't talk about all night long. Nate Smith looks like he started in P7, so from P7 to P3 for him. An excellent showing there for him as well. We have someone to talk to. It is our GT3 winner, but his name is Robert Kiesel. We never got to talk to you on the panel before last season, so welcome to Season 2 of the panel. How you doing?
Great. Actually, pretty easy race. Not gonna lie, used Drew there a little bit to save up some fuel and some tires. But pretty smooth race, honestly. Pretty smooth race.
Of course. So we never been on a panel before. I'm sure you watched some of the highlights. but we're very relaxed here. So we're going to ask a couple questions, and then you're going to get to play a game show. Tonight, first question is, why did you choose GT3, and then why did you choose the Mustang?
We have about 4 drivers for representing FIU, and we did a lot of research prior to the season. And we came to the conclusion that the Mustang, the front engine, is actually really good for this track, for Road America. So Road Atlanta. So that was pretty much the reason why we chose the Mustang. I did, and Andrew Hortz did. But yeah, that came down to just the research that we did prior to the season starting.
Of course.
As for GT3, I was thinking about going for GTP. However, we collectively chose GT3 for all of the FIU drivers, just to make it a little easier for practice and setup sharing, strategy, and whatnot.
Of course. I'd ask you how your race is going, but it's very clear it went very well. You won. What, in your opinion, was the race-winning move in GT3 this evening?
I think the crash that I got pushed wide on the first lap by the Porsche. I'm not sure which car number that was, but I got pushed wide. I also fell asleep on the start, majorly, and Clint Hauerman actually got the lead pretty quickly at the start. But I saw the Porsche was a little feisty, and I figured I'm just gonna lay back a little bit. It's a long race, no pressure, just save some fuel already from the get-go. And I was just waiting for that to happen, the crash that happened in front of me, really. I knew it's going to come eventually. I was actually pretty positive about it. Just waited it out, wait for something to happen, somebody somebody make a mistake. And that, I think the race-winning move was pretty much that crash in front of me. And then I saved a little bit of fuel after, behind Drew. In the Mustang in front of me, saved the fuel a little bit, took care of the tires, and pretty much I knew I have the pace on him. So I just laid back, waited for a mistake, analyzed his driving, and then once he did make a mistake, I just sent it and pulled away.
Of course. So, Cade, got any questions for the man?
I guess I just want to know, are you going to be running the whole season, and are you going to be this competitive every race? What is the plan going forward?
I'm planning on actually winning the GT3 class this season. So yes, I'm gonna run in every single race, and yeah, I wanna actually be P1 by the end of the season overall.
All right, well, I like a man with confidence, so I like that. Congratulations once again. Thank you for coming out and running with us. It's been great to have you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you for the work that you guys are putting in.
Wait a minute, he gets to play the game.
He does. We're not done yet, Robert.
We're not done with you.
Okay.
We're not done with you. Hold on. Welcome, Robert Piso. Welcome to the game show. Are you ready to play?
Absolutely.
That's what I want to hear. The game show is called God Bless Canada and Zach the Whale. So the game is very simple. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. They're going to be in 3 different categories, and you're gonna get all 3 of them right. You get the soapbox. You get to give your best take about whatever you want to talk about. If you get any of them wrong, I get you out of here. First category is Canada. Question for you, Robert Kiesel, is how many provinces are there in Canada?
Oh man, I'm from Europe, as you might know, from Poland, so not my part of the world.
Of course.
I'd say 12.
Oh boy. No, a lot of people have guessed 12 this evening, but the answer is 13. It's actually 13. But Robert, because you're such a good sport and you won the race, your class, of course, if a GT3 beat a GTP in this series, I would be astounded. But you get to thank 2 people.
I'd like to thank, I don't know, for people, I'd like to thank FIU just in general for having the opportunity to represent them.
That's definitely more than 2 people, Nick.
Yeah, that's
yes,
a lot.
about-
That's a lot more than 2 people. Last time I checked, FIU has an enrollment. I cannot believe this. Why are people thanking like 40,000 people? That's just ludicrous. Cade, calm me down.
I look, all right. Well, because he won the GT3 class, I think we can give it to him, and we can pretend that FIU is a single entity for the next 5 seconds. Whenever I already kicked him out. All right, he's already out of here. Cool.
Yeah, he's
All
gone.
right,
He's
never
gone.
mind. I guess he doesn't get a second.
I got
chance.
mad. I can't believe this.
No,
The rules are the rules.
I can't believe like 1 and 2. Like okay, there's a difference there, but yeah, 1 in 40,000, man. That is
just wrong. That's wrong on so many levels.
Next interview going.
I need to have this guy in order to actually get through my day. Golly bum. Adam Willoughby, you won the race on the last lap. I can't believe it. You're going to earn a banner in OWR tonight for the first time. You've done it. You've done it here this evening. How on earth did you do it?
Dude, I have no idea. I was so confused. I didn't see I was actually leading until the third to last turn when I peeked at my relative and I saw Keegan was 2 seconds behind me or whatever, and I was incredibly confused. That was the most fuel saving I've ever done, frankly. I was losing about 2 seconds a lap lifting literally everywhere because our fuel tanks are exactly enough to get around this race, it turns out.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment. So, you know the drill with the panel, the typical questions, and then the game show. So we're going to ask you some questions first. Your first question is, why did you pick the LMP2?
Because it's a prototype, and I was only going to drive prototypes. And as soon as I saw Mr. Sean D. Campbell registered for GTP, I decided LMP2 is where I belong.
Of course, I completely understand. But I'm trying to think of what else to ask here. Cade, ask him a question or 2 or 3 or 6 or 10.
Oh man, we do not have time for that. But this is your first ever win in the CIL, correct?
Yeah, first CIL win.
How does it feel?
I'm shocked. I thought Keegan had it. I didn't even make it to the bus stop on the cooldown lap.
Well, congratulations once again. It's super great to have you up here. I know, maybe you're not the best oval driver when it comes to the Xfinity cars, but absolutely congratulations today for getting it done. Yeah, I said it. We've had some beef on you. But no, the LMP2 is it's a difficult car to control. I know that for sure. And you made it look easy out there. So once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, it is time. It's time. Here we go. Welcome, Adam Willoughby. Welcome to the show. It is very, very nice to see you back here. Game show's called God Bless Canada and Zach the Whale. You ready to play?
Yes.
Of course. Game show's very simple. I've got 3 questions, one of each category. And, once it's over, if you get them right, you get to have the floor, talk about whatever you want to talk about. If you don't, I get you out of here. The first question in the first category is Canada. The question is, how many provinces are there in Canada?
4.
4?
4.
Is that your final answer? is that your final answer?
3.
3? Oh God! The answer's 13.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my goodness, Willoughby. Okay. Very clear. Okay. Because this was so bad. You get only one person to thank. Who do you want to thank?
Hold up. I got a question for you, Adam. Real quick. Can you count to 1?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Then you are allowed to thank one person.
All right. I'm gonna thank Keegan Kallick.
There you go.
man.
One
There it
person.
is.
How about that's all you get to thank here in this game show.
Oh my God.
I need to take a 4. Oh God, are you sure? 3, even worse. Oh boy, I need some normalcy in my life to get this. Sean Campbell, welcome to the esteemed panel. It is so good to hear you're back in the CIL. Congratulations on the class win. Congratulations on the overall win. What brings you back?
Well, I'm in college now.
Yeah. For the folks at home, he used to run with us, but he was in high school. But he took college courses, so that's how we let him in here, and he dumpstered on us then. So what has you here now?
Well, I wanted to come back. I needed something as an excuse to not do homework, I guess.
I've heard it all, and Sean. So I've seen you race against some of the best. In fact, we have like a little thing here within some friend groups in the CIL of like, oh my God, that's Sean Campbell. I used to drive against that guy when we watch the pro stuff going on. How much did you practice for this race? It's okay to say you didn't.
I mean, if you want me to be truthfully honest, the last time I drove this car on track was Indy 6 Hour, but that's the practice enough. I did 50 hours for that, and it doesn't really go away. It take maybe 10, 15 laps, and then the muscle memory comes back. So I'd say that counts as practice. It just was pretty early practice, I guess.
Yeah, Sean, some people were telling me, I was getting reports that you drove the fastest lap of the iRacing Indy 6 Hour. Can you confirm this to be true or false?
Well, there's a story behind that. Yes, I did, but it was kind of out of spite, because we would have driven it normally, but obviously stuff happened in that race, so went back out with 3 laps to go on no fuel, on fresh tires, on attack mode. just to prove a point. Which is why if you look at the standings on the iRacing stat line, it's the fastest lap by 0.6 of a second to second, which is really funny.
Well,
couldn't have the win, but I had to get that just out of spite.
Sean, this is why we love you. You do so well. Cade, you got any questions for him?
I want to ask, obviously you set the fastest lap out there today and you made everybody look like a fool, but how much of a challenge did it add now having to deal with all these knuckleheads driving LMP2s and GT3s right out there in front of you?
The GT3s were kind of funny.
I agree.
It was pretty typical American split IMSA, basically. So nothing too crazy. I've seen some stuff, and it was not nearly as bad as that stuff. So it was fine, honestly. Just gotta back it up. Be careful. I guess that's the most important thing, right? Is that you actually finish the race without it.
Pretty sure it happened. Couldn't have said it better myself. Sean, are you ready to play our game show?
What's at stake here?
Well, nothing really in particular. We'll explain this as we, kick this off here. So, welcome, Mr. Campbell. Game show. The game show is very simple. It's called God Bless Canada and Zach the Whale. Very simple rules here. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. If you get all 3 of them right, I give you the floor. to talk about whatever you want to talk about. And if you get them wrong, I get you out of here. You ready to play?
Sure.
All right. So the first question tonight, first category is Canada. How many provinces are there in Canada?
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Go on. I'm just going to say, like, 22. Go on.
Is that your final answer?
Sure, honestly. Just send me.
Yeah, better than 3, but still way far off in the other direction.
Is it like 107 or something?
The answer's 13.
What?
Oh, okay. That was pretty close then.
You were 9 off in one direction. Would you believe that Adam Willoughby, the winner of the LMP2 class, he guessed 3?
Huh. To be fair, there are some people who live in the U.S. that don't know how many states we have.
I mean, that is fair. That's completely fair. But Sean, because you won our race, you won. I've been told there's only 10, but there's 13. That these people don't like. These people do not like the other ones. But still, no one said 10 either. But people said 12. But it's okay. Sean, you get 2 people to thank.
Only 2.
2, huh? Milloran. I don't know.
Oh boy! oh, that's a name.
No.
You sure you want to go with that one?
Well, it's been a while, I want to thank Josh.
Okay, you're thanking Josh and Millerin?
No, I want to thank Josh and Michael, because without Michael, I wouldn't have the CIL, and then without Josh, I probably wouldn't still be in the CIL.
Fair enough. Josh, what about Josh? Did he tell you to come back?
No, he just was like, I'll let it slide. And I was like, I'm technically not a college student back in 2020.
Oh, well,
It's his fault.
it is slightly his fault. I mean, but you know what? We still like him for it anyway. But thank you, Sean. He thanked 2 people, and 2 people's all he gets to thank. But that is it for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I often end these panels with monologuing, but first I'll let Cade explain what he experienced this evening on the panel.
It's going to take me a couple of days to process it, I think. I'm going to wake up Friday morning and it's going to hit me that this was, the best experience of my life ever. I mean, this is better than anything, and I just don't know it yet. But no, it's been a lot of fun. I think it's a great way to, spice up the race a little bit, makes it a little more interesting. If you want to see something a little bit different, something that isn't as much of a podcast, that's a little bit more, just of a typical broadcast. Tomorrow night, we're going to have the IndyCar Clash for the Formula College Series. I'll be broadcasting that, I think alongside Marlo Duncan, so that'll be exciting. But yeah, we will have a lot of fun with that as well. Of course, it's a little bit less of a podcast style, but I think this style suits this really well. I really like the game show type stuff. I think it's going to be fun to continue that throughout the season, and I certainly think it's great to run the Clash, shake down this multi-class series. It's been a success so far, so really good stuff from the admins to put that together. I think it's going to give us bigger fields, it's going to give us more competition, and it's going to give us better racing. So that's exactly what we saw tonight, and that's going to continue for 5 races this season. The next one, I want to say, is September 24 at Road America, so be there or be square. I'm actually going to check that.
Of course, yes, he's going to check that, but tonight is time for my monologue, my first 6 monologues this season, and I oftentimes think about what I'm going to say in these, and what I will say is tonight was a night of history. The CIL, in its infancy, attempted multi-class. For those who are new to this series, it was LMP2 and GTE, and then it was GTE and GT3. But then after that, we went to GT3 and GT3 only, and we did that for a very long time. But thanks to the ambition of 2 in particular gentlemen, Mr. Ryan Whitlock and Mr. Ricky Paz, we decided to go to an IMSA style series. And I can say that this race has been something of a form of art. We saw terrorism, we saw triumph, we saw heartbreak, and we did see some beef. But overall, over the course of this 1 hour, we watched a symphony of engineering compete and triumph here at the Dewalkens Glen 1 hour presented by Sons of Kent. From the esteemed panel, I am your host, Nick Stockner. Joined with me here is Cade Corbin. We have been very fortunate to provide for you this esteemed panel broadcast this evening. Look out for us next time, being September 24 at Road America. September 10. We have double checked that. Look out for us then. Look out for Cade tomorrow night, broadcasting Interlagos. Look out for me in a car next Monday at the College Cup Series race at Michigan. Once again, many thanks to our esteemed producer, Lex Kane. And my dear friends, this has been the Collegiate iRacing League.